This is the burning issue on the Happy World 5 FM radio, bringing you hot, smoldering topics on a weekly basis. Your participation is important.
A wonderful good morning and welcome to yet another edition of The Burning Issue. This is the Thursday edition. We'll be back on 89.9 here in Lusaka and the surrounding areas. And we are also live on our partner radio stations and, of course, Tuta FM radio. We are live on 90.7 in Mansa. Thank you very much for carrying this episode on Chinsali, covering the rest of Mchinga province. This is on Mchinga radio 8.1 rather, and thank you very much for tuning in. We are also live on Spice FM in Kabwe Central Province on 91.1, and also live in Southern Province on Wave FM radio on 98.7. That is in Mazabuka, covering the rest of Southern Province. Copperbelt is not left out. We are live on iWave FM radio in Chingola, covering the rest of the Copperbelt. Thank you very much for tuning in. Also live on our Facebook page, that's 5FM Radio Zambia. Later on, I will give you an opportunity to call in and interact with our guest on the numbers that will be given to you. I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. My guest today is the media director from the Socialist Party, Brian Hapunda. Welcome to the program. Always a pleasure to host you, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Comrade Zach, and good morning to all our wonderful listeners listening to us through your feed. I know times are hard, but let us hang in there. It shall be well very soon.
How have you been?
Been very well, limping peacefully.
Yeah,
but we're hanging in there.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
The appointment of media director is such an honor to you, I know. But obviously under the Socialist Party, but elsewhere, this is not a new position. You've held this position in the Patriotic Front before. So you're basically going, transferring your skills onto a different party altogether.
Thank you very much.
How are you settling in?
Settling in very well, and thank you for the accolades, and many thanks to the Socialist Party and the able leadership of Comrade Fred Membe for having noticed my talent and my ability. I'm so humbled. Of course, Comrade Zach, who am I without the support of my colleagues, yourselves in the media, and many other colleagues in the media fraternity.
Yeah,
but I'm also receiving a lot of help from our friends in the media fraternity, and I can only say thank you. The sky is the limit.
Great. There's also been thoughts around how Imiti Kula Empanga and the Imiti Ishale Kula in the Patriotic Front was you, the likes of Antonio Mwanza. I mean, you were the vibrant youths that everybody else were saying you were going to be the future leaders of the Patriot Front. But to have left the party, there were quite mixed feelings from a few people that you chickened out so early.
Thank you, Comrade Zach. Politics is not static. Politics is simply a moving vehicle. And we did our part as young people in the Patriot Front Party. And we reached a point where we saw it fit that we needed to move to another platform that would continue to represent our cause and our ideals. And that platform is no other than the Socialist Party and Comrade Fred Membe, and here we are today pushing the agenda for a better Zambia and the moving vehicle of the Socialist Party for a better Zambia tomorrow.
Your party is just coming from a by-election, which obviously you participated.
Yes.
Just describe to us your experience as a party going into that election.
First and foremost, allow me to thank the wonderful people of the two ward by-elections in Kampamba ward in Mbika, as well as Mayembe ward in Shiwangandu, for having voted for our candidates amidst the difficult circumstances of voter intimidation, not buying political violence that we experienced in these just ended by-elections. But amidst all these challenges, the Socialist Party and Comrade Fred Membe managed to get good votes. We might not have won those by-elections, but the votes that we got is a testament and political litmus test that the Socialist Party has been endorsed by the people of Zambia and has been welcomed on the political platform, offering alternative leadership against the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema in 2026. So this one is a litmus test for.
And how did you fare?
We fared well. We could have done better had it not been for the vote buying, the vote intimidation, and as well as the political violence. I remember the Socialist Party Secretary General Secretary Dr. Msumali is on record of having written to the ECZ complaining of the various things that I've complained about in these by-elections. And what did the ECZ do? They did not respond. There were a lot of government vehicles that were, unleashed in these by-elections, and they had to strip off the number plates. There was a lot of cadres transferred from various parts of the country, from Lusaka, Copperbelt, by the PND to go and cause havoc for the opposition in those by-elections. We saw a lot of milieu being distributed in Kapemba Ward and Mayembe at a time when there's no milieu in the country. So where did the UPND find this milieu to come and buy voters in this by-election? But this is only goes to show how desperate the UPND government of Hakainde Hichilema is, and that they can go to any streams to ensure that they continue to drink the people, but they can only do so much in by-elections. Because the state machinery simply moves into the area of a by-election, and with the help of the state machinery, the ruling party, of course, will win. But come 2026, each councillor candidate will be on their own, each parliamentary candidate will be on their own, each presidential candidate will be on their own, and voters will be for us all. So we shall meet the UPND in the ballot box and HH in 2026, and rest assured, whatever Mingalato they're doing right now to the opposition and to the Zambian people will not work against them, because Zambians have already made up their minds. Zambians have already made up their minds to vote out the UPND.
Is that a declaration that the elections, the by-elections were not free and fair?
Absolutely. The by-elections are not fair and fair for the reasons that I've exposed. There was voter intimidation, there was political violence, there were use of state equipment, machinery to advantage the ruling party. Of course, this was not a level playing field for the opposition, but in as much as level playing field, political level playing field was not there, the Socialist Party still managed to garner those votes. To me, that is an endorsement and acceptance by the people of Zambia of the Socialist Party and the leadership of Fred Membe.
Now, let's move into the issues of the economy as well, because we will also discuss a lot around the high cost of living. Now, your president, Fred Membe, has actually asked this government, the UPND, to explain the unexplainable on kwacha depreciation. And having said that, he also sounds very worried at the rate at which the kwacha is depreciating, which may obviously worsen the cost of living. When statements of this nature are released, people are quick to ask, what are the alternatives? Are you offering alternatives to what is happening?
Comrade Zach, the situation of the kwacha depreciating is very worrying. In 2023, for example, the kwacha depreciated by over 20% against the US dollar, erasing all the gains since August 2021. And the kwacha has continued on that trajectory of depreciating. And you can see that even when Comrade Fred Membe has said what he has said about the depreciation of the kwacha, it's very worrisome, and it calls for serious measures by the government. And even in 2024, we don't expect the kwacha to gain against the US dollar, for the obvious reasons that the government is not doing certain things right, that is causing the kwacha to depreciate. For example, you have the tax holidays, for example, given to the mines, and we all know that the mines are the major tax contributors, forex contributors to our country. And here is a government, a very insensitive government to its people, gives mining corporations tax holidays at a time when the mines are making super abnormal profits. This is unheard of. And also, you're talking of the government has failed to show direction in sorting out the operational challenges facing the two big mines in Zambia, KCM and Mopani. And these are the mines that should have been helped so that they are operationalized and that they double up or triple up their copper production. So at a time when the copper production, at a time when copper is fetching so much money at the metals exchange, international metals exchange, we should have been benefiting as a country had our mines been operationalized and producing the much needed copper. But here we are. So these two factors have contributed to a much depreciating kwacha against the dollar. And we don't, to be frankly, we don't expect the kwacha to improve this year at this trajectory that we're moving at. And we've been offering this advice, including Comrade Fred Membe and the Socialist Party has been very consistent offering this economic advice to the UPND. Can you be able to do this? Can you be able to tax the mines correctly, for example, so that they were able to benefit from the super abnormal profits? Can you be able to quickly sort out the operational challenges of Mopani and KCM in good time, so that these mines can be able to, triple up or quadruple their copper production? But this has not happened. We always see politicking after politicking by this government as if we're in an election year. So this government really is not serious.
Don't you think it would be unfair to this government, especially when you point out on the mines issues, especially KCM and Mopani issues? Because this is a government that inherited a mess in that area. Found legal issues going on with KCM. Of course, Mopani is a story that we all know. And really to sit down in 2.5 years and try and correct these things, and to have reached the stage that they have reached and found an investor for Mopani, for example, and obviously reconciled with Vedanta. Surely one will have to appreciate that there have been efforts made to correct the situation.
Comrade Zach, I have a problem. The Socialist Party has a problem with the way this government is running things, the way President Hakainde Hichilema is conducting himself. And we've been on record voicing out these problems and advising the UPND government. For how long will they continue with this blame game? It's mid-year past their term, 2.5 years in office, and the UPND keeps on the blame game on the Patriotic Front Party. The reason why Zambians voted out the Patriotic Front Party and Edgar Chagwa is because they failed to meet the expectations of the people. They diverted from the expectations of the people. They were voted out in preference for the UPND. We have UPND in office, and they have continued 2 years, 5 months in office. They have continued the blame game on the past government. If that is their standard of measuring their performance against the past government, then clearly the UPND government and HH are headed for a loss in 2026, the same way PF was voted out by the Zambian people. In 1991, for example, the HH and the UPND are not the first to become president and the ruling party, and they'll not be the last, for example. And we have had governments, for example, the Chiluba government in 1991, that inherited a crippled and collapsed economy from KK and the UNIP government. What did FTJ and MMD do when they got into power? They did not keep on blaming the past government, UNIP government. They quickly went on the ground and started hitting the ground running, finding solutions, economic solutions facing the people of Zambia. And within 1 year in office, Chiluba MMD had managed to stabilize the economy. But here we are. We have a complaining government, a complaining president, a crybaby government that has constantly continued to blame their failures on the past government. And they say that a carpenter blames his tools for a poor work. And this is exactly what the UPND government and HH are doing. Clearly, Comrade Zach, HH, President HH, and the UPND government have failed to run this country. And they must
to the contrary,
be able to admit.
To the contrary, I like how Comrade Fred Membe recognizes milestones that President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND government have scored. In his statement on the Kwacha, he basically states that UPND officially took office on the 24th of August 2021 after Mr. Hichilema was sworn in.
Yep.
They subsequently succeeded, and take note of that, subsequently succeeded in concluding the IMF deal, signed an MOU with official creditors on debt restructuring, and now only remaining with the private creditors, resolved KCM and bringing Vedanta, closed Mopani deal with a UAE company, completed Kafue Gorge Power Station as they claim, well, you may say as they claim, FQM bringing in $1.2 billion investment, cell phone company being established by Chinese investors, $23 billion investment pledges according to ZDA. These are not allegations, as he puts them. These, for him to note them down as he has noted them down, he does acknowledge that these are positives that this government has scored.
Yeah.
The only question is, having done all these,